Dan Wetzel's been covering the Jim Harbaugh situation for Yahoo Sports. He'll join us coming up here in a little bit because that ended abruptly yesterday. All of a sudden, Fritzy sent me a note, says, Michigan's going to accept the punishment. Jim Harbaugh is going to miss the rest of the regular season, and the investigation appears to be over. I went, what happened? Something had to happen. I don't know this for a fact, but at least I'm trying to go down this road with a source. Was this just a negotiation here? That Jim Harbaugh and Michigan accepted what the Big Ten was going to offer. If you were going to stop the investigation, now it's over with. And it's just these games, I missed these games. We're still eligible to play in the playoffs. And in exchange, the Big Ten will end the investigation into Michigan on the in-person scouting matter, which ends the possibility of future penalties or suspensions. And the Big Ten reserved that right to do that. This allows Michigan and Harbaugh to continue to operate without any interruption. If they advance, they're going to be in the Big Ten title game and then college football playoffs. Big Ten noted that it's not aware of any information suggesting Coach Harbaugh's involvement in the allegations. Okay. That's what I think we've been waiting for, that they were going to, this was going to be 11th hour because there was supposed to be a hearing this morning. You have reporters who were going to Ann Arbor, Michigan, including Dan Wetzel, just for this hearing to see if Harbaugh was going to be able to be on the sidelines in the Maryland game. Then, of course, Ohio State. Poll question today. What do you have, Seton, before we dive into the Ravens and the Bengals outcome?
Well, why don't we start with Michigan and Harbaugh there. Michigan and Harbaugh dropping their appeal makes them look soft or smart.
Well, Jim Harbaugh wanted his day in court. Told us about civics class. What happened, Jim? Don't want your day in court?
What about due process?
Yeah.
I thought due process was
was
of the utmost importance in this case.
They were shouting from the mountaintops there, and I thought, all right, you'll get your day in court.
That's weird.
I kept saying, yes, there should be due process, but apparently we're not due any process here. Yes, Paulie?
This is a very tough poll question to answer because I'd like to say both, but that's not an option. It seems like the smart move to de-emphasize the story and get back to football and put it away. But it does kind of, after all the yelling and screaming and I didn't do anything and I'm going to court, we're going to take this to the highest court.
Yeah.
It's it feels like an admission of more than what happened.
Okay, it's still, there's so many unanswered questions here. Jim Harbaugh didn't know. Who did? What are you sitting down for? And if you didn't do anything wrong or you didn't gain any advantage, then why wouldn't you fight this? So now this stays with Jim Harbaugh the rest of his career. And I'm going to guess that's probably going to bother him. Now, he might say, hey, if we win a national title, nobody's going to care. Like the Astros, when they won a World Series, it was tainted. And it's going to be there for Jose Altuve the rest of his career. And if Jim Harbaugh happens to do something and they go far in the playoffs, win the national title, that's going to stay with him. And people are going to wonder, are they still cheating? Yes, Pauline.
I think this is the definition of irony. If Michigan somehow loses in the next week or two, is not in the playoffs, and doesn't win the national title, the story does fade away. By winning the national title, Michigan keeps this story around forever. It will be a footnote for some people, Big Ten fans, SEC fans, forever.
Yeah.
By winning the title.
Yeah. I would have. Look, if you're innocent, then you want to fight it. I don't know what they found out. I don't know what Jim knew, when he knew it, if he knew anything. But somebody knew. And I don't know if the Big Ten really cared to have an investigation. Like, you want Michigan playing for a national championship. Everybody benefits financially. But at some point, Michigan probably thought, all right, how do we make this go away? All right, you're going to miss the rest of the regular season, then it goes away. What if somebody comes out with maybe some more information here. More video. Yes, Eden.
What about innocent until proven guilty, huh? What about, I'll just admit I'm guilty.
There is no admission in this statement. There is no admission of guilt.
I won't say I'm guilty. I'll just take all the penalties.
Somebody's admitting guilt. Somebody is admitting guilt here. Maybe not Jim Harbaugh.
We're admitting a lack of oversight, Dan. You always want to use those words.
Yeah, of course. Yes, Todd.
In the court of public opinion, when someone says, you know what, I didn't want to be a distraction anymore to my team. I want them to focus on Maryland, Ohio State. So this is the best way to move forward on this. In this way, do we feel a little bad? Or maybe he is innocent and just doesn't want to be that distraction these next two
Okay, but
games.
you can't shout from the mountaintops like he did and then all of a sudden recoil and go into your, dark corner here. Like, that's what I want. Okay, if you're innocent, great. You get your day in court. And he's telling us about he wanted his day and due process. And you were going to have that opportunity and you chose not to. I think it just came down to negotiation between the Big Ten and Michigan. Hey, it's going to go away. Now, the NCAA is still involved in this. Now, the NCAA, I'm guessing, can still pursue charges against Jim Harbaugh and or Michigan. I don't know if they will, but what a bizarre story.
Because chickens are actually good. They're not scared.
Yeah,
Chickens.
something like that. Yeah. But you have somebody on your staff who you hired on your staff who then resigned from your staff. They were supposedly doing this for a couple of years now. Okay. If he's doing it for a couple of years, you must have benefited. And then what happens with those wins? Like, how many wins did you benefit? Are they taken away? It just seems like, nothing here. Let's just wrap it up. Nice bow. Beautiful bow. It's an amazing blue bow that we're going to put on this one. Yes, Paulie.
If you want to look at the 2 years before Connor Stallions joined the staff of Michigan, 2019, Michigan was 9-4. Nice. The year after, remember that wonky COVID year? They were 2-4. Yeah. And it was ugly, and he's going to resign. He didn't take his paycheck. The next 3 years, when Connor Stallions joined the staff officially, and according to the investigation, started doing this thing, 12-2, 13-1, 10-0.
Okay. All right. I don't know what the other teams in the Big Ten think about this ruling. I don't know if they had their say, but feels like, the commissioner just got on the job. It's like, hey, this came across your desk there, commish. Oh, boy. Maybe I can go back to the Major League Baseball network. Yes, Marv.
I don't know if Michigan is America's team, but this is definitely America's story because we're all invested.
Oh.